Hi, I'm Ben, and this is my videos of mine, of mine. But well, here's an episode. Here's an episode recap. Here's an episode recap. Sorry, I live in an apartment. Here's an episode recap of the. Sorry. Here's an episode recap of Marvel Spider-Man and Rise of the Octopus Part 1, Part 3 and 4. I reviewed Part 2 and 3, and now 3 and 4, 2 and 1, and now 3 and 4. This time they got it right. They aired the episodes like Part 4 and Part 3 and Part 4. In the first part, Spider-Man was spying on everything, and he wanted to explain to Harry Osborn about what Norman Osborn is doing, but he opened fire and attacked on Spider-Man with his defense protocols. Then he discovered that maybe the Jackal might be behind all of this. Oh, wait, that doesn't come later. So he actually meets Harry Osborn for breakfast and tries to explain to him that maybe your father's hiding something. I will never keep secrets from you. And there's so many times I'm like, take off the mask, reveal your Spider-Man, and just tell yourself just tell him you're Spider-Man. Man, because in every variation, Norman never finds out that that Peter is Spider-Man. Well, he does in later variations, but can we just have a series where he actually finds out that he's Spider-Man? Because there's been too many stories about Spider-Man, Harry hating Spider-Man, never knowing the truth, and all that. But in this variation, he finds out. He doesn't find out yet, but yeah. He doesn't find out late. He does find out, but yeah, he goes in. Harry's like, I'll show you what's it like in Oscorp. So then Harry invited Harry to Oscorp, and then so Harry invited Peter to Oscorp and at the school, and he's like, Peter, Dr. Octopus was like, Peter, you're late, and Peter was like, wait, you don't go to this school? It's like, no, I was invited by Harry, and so then he went. So then he went to his school. So then he went to his school, and then he. So then he went to his school, and then he spied on Harry. He spied on Norman and Spider-Man's as Peter, and he's like, and he was seeing all the equipment he was building. It was like, and Norman Osborn has his scientist to build a tracking device to track down Spider-Man, and he's like, why does it say Spider-Man is here when he's obviously not here? I was like, dude, look around. Like, I wasn't supporting the bad guy, but really, look around if it says Spider-Man's here, idiot. But no, Peter was there, and he never saw him, but then he went to save but then later, Savage Guy, the alter ego of the Rhino, discovered that Spider-Man broke into Oscorp. So then he discovered that Norman Os. So then he went in. Alushi Savage went in. The Rhino guy went into Oscorp and placed everything on people. So then he turned into the Rhino. No, and then he expanded, and then they turned into different other rhinos, and then there was a whole rhino. But then they discovered the jackal is behind this, and then and then Norman was, and then Spider-Man discovered it. But then Jackal sinks Spider-Man because Spider-Man accidentally did something, and Harry was like, I know it, you're working with the Jackal. But Spider-Man was like, no, you gotta all run, like everything. my part has to admit I hate about the stories in Spider-Man is the misunderstandings. They just drive me crazy. I always like when Spider-Man's being Spider-Man and fighting crime and not misunderstandings. I don't like those because it frustrates me. But anyways, Spider-Man saved the day, and there were these other kids who used their scientific inventions to save the day and stop the rhinos, and Spider-Man found the chip things and took them off, and everything went okay. But then the jackal was like a robot clone, and it exploded, destroying all the devices, and he couldn't prove to Harry. And Peter was like, Harry, I'm your friend. I'll never lie to you. So my devotion is with you, not Spider-Man. So he knows he's Spider. So yeah, he's still lying. So just be like, just tell him and I'm like, just tell him you're Spider-Man. I mean, he's your friend. Why do you need to keep secrets on your friends? Whew. So anyways, Spider-Man became Spider. So anyways, he left, but then Norman, but then Dr. Octopus spilled the beans in front of Harry. He's like, have you heard? Peter's building tech. On, Peter's building tech for Spider-Man. And and Harry was like, you what? You said to my face, your devotion was me, not Spider-Man. And Peter's like, no, it wasn't like that. And Harry's like, get out, get out, get out, get out. Sorry, it was in the moment. So then in part 2, the jackal, no, Spider-Man was teamed up with Miles Morales Spider-Man, which I don't think they call him here in that. But anyways, they say they broke into jail to find out what's going on, but then he realized the person they thrown in jail, the jackal, was an imposter. So he exploded, then Spider-Man was kind of framed. Then he was discovered by the police, but Miles Morales Spider-Man can turn invisible. To be honest, I haven't read any of the Miles Morales comics, but I will do that. I'll do that eventually. I think I might have a Miles Morales Spider-Man comic around here. Let's see. No. Oh, hey, here's one. It's where he does a crossover, and I think something bad happened. Sorry if this is a spoiler cover. It was kind of the same deal with me, but yeah. But anyway, Spider-Man saved the day. Well, sorry. Well, sort of. Well, Peter Parker. Well, anyways, Miles Morales Spider-Man saved the day and stopped the police, and then they got away. And he went back, and Peter went back to Harry, and he's like, I'm trying to explain to you this. And it's like, I don't want to talk to you. You have nothing to say. It's like, let me explain. Look into this. Look into this. I'm your friend. And so later Peter went to Gwen Stacy. Then Gwen was like, did you hear Spider-Man did something to my uncle? It's like, no, I came to help. I came to talk to you about that. So sorry. So then Peter teamed up with Gwen, and then later Harry came back, and then he was sorry, so he's like, I'll look into this and let's team up. So then they found out some information. They went to his house, they went to here and there, they fist bumped, they and sorry if this review is taking too long, I'll skip to the good parts. They found out some information. They found a secret lair where the jackal is cloning other jackals to create a spider army. I actually discovered in the comics the jackal cloned Gwen Stacy in the comics. Yeah, after Gwen Stacy died in the comics, you know, that classic thing in the comics, the jackal did clones of her. And because I remember watching this 90s episode of Spider-Man where Mary Jane got cloned by this professor, but in the comics it's actually Gwen Stacy that got cloned by the jackals. But anyways, the jackal in this TV show, the jackal was cloning a bunch of spider goblin army, but then Harry was like, "I played you, Peter. I wanted to make you, so I want to." Excuse me. Sorry. No. Whiskers, be quiet. Sorry. Anyways. So anyways. So anyways. Harry was like, I played you, Peter, so that way my dad can, like you played me, so he stopped the spiders from getting the jackal's power, and then the spy Norman Osborn commandos came out, and he was like, let's stop, because in the first episode it was like, let's stop this, and so far I was like, for something called the Rise of the Octopus, they don't really do anything Rise of Octopus. It's mainly just solving the mystery of the jackal, this happening and this happening. There's Dr. Octopus here and there, but there's not a lot. So I don't know what's there to be the jackal. But anyways, at the end, Dr. Octopus turned evil and then betrayed Norman Osborn and have the other characters mind controlled. Is like, go Sinister 5. I was like, and they do reference Sinister 6. I was like, oh, that's too bad. Harry Osborn's not here. Sinister 5 would be great. But Harry brought that fire sword from that Blizzard episode. So then he escaped. So then they escaped. Then Peter became Spider-Man, not in front of Gwen and Harry, no. So then he ran up, and so then he saved the day. Is like I didn't saw that coming. But then Norman was trampled by rubble, and then it was like, go save Harry. I would have been, that's not an option. Push the rock, and then Web should grab him and then grab him. But really, he saved Harry and Gwen instead, not Norman, and sacrificed Norman. So then Harry was still angry, and it's like, why didn't you save them? Fire sword! And this is the part where I'm like, take off your mask, show who he is. I know he's evil, but still, he's your best friend. I know some of you are gonna say, well, Harry's evil. I mean, he can't tell him that, but I was like, well, not really, and besides, if you're best friends, if you were to keep a superhero, wouldn't you tell your best friend you were a superhero? So then he told them, no, I had no choice. I had to save you. He wanted me to save you. And Harry's like, just go. Just go. So then a hand came out, and that was probably Norman. But hey, since the jackal looks like that, because if you know what a jackal looks like, I was thinking maybe the jackal DNA might have mixed with that to make Norman into the Green Goblin. Yeah, that's cool. Well, I'm Ben of Mix Up YouTube. You'll see some new videos, and we'll probably see what happens next, right? We got Dr. Octopus, now we have Norman Osborn, now we need the Green Goblin.